Hey, what's up, guys? Running on Zero here, and today I have for you guys a flawless gun game, and that's pretty much all it is. I mean, it's a pretty fast, flawless gun game. Not too bad of a gameplay, but anyway, what I want to talk about today in this commentary is the worst thing you can do in Black Ops 2, or any other Call of Duty, and that would be when you change your class. Yeah, that's right. When you change your class, and what normally happens, or what normally happens with me, and I figured that it happens with other people, is that when I get a good class, when I get a perfect little class going, I'm doing really good with it, playing really great with it, really nice, and, just doing overall well with it. And then I get on the next day probably, and I stop doing as good with the class. So then sometimes what I don't do this anymore though, but what I used to do is, I start messing with the class. I start changing things up. I start putting attachments on, taking them off. I start messing around with the perks, and then what I find out is, I just end up doing worse. Like, it's like when I was doing fine with that class, and I just started doing bad one day. I immediately blame the class, which is definitely the wrong thing to do. You definitely don't want to blame the class for if you're playing bad one day or something like that. And I'll be honest, I did that a few times, but I definitely don't do it anymore just because, I know better now that, sometimes it's not always about the class. Sometimes it's just, I'm having a bad day or things are just going my way. Well, that rhymed anyway. But, so yeah, I mean, that's why, I don't mess with the class anymore. And I honestly think that's the worst mistake people can make on Call of Duty is because, you almost, as a player, you don't want to take the blame sometimes for a mistake you made. So you kind of go and try to blame things other than you. And let's be honest, we all do it sometimes. But what what you need to do is, you need to be honest with yourself. If you're the one who made the mistake, then, you should be blamed in the bad decision you made in the situation or whatever. You shouldn't really go around messing with your gameplay. You shouldn't go around messing with your perks and stuff and just messing with your classes or anything, because I think that will just make it even worse. It'll just make it worse on you, and you'll just start playing worse because now you're trying to make something that wasn't really bad to begin with, you're trying to improve it. And we all know the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And most of the time when people go to change their classes, they're not broken. There's usually nothing wrong with them. They like that class. They know how to use that class. They play good with it. And then they go around messing with it. And then, they start doing worse. And then they start moving around some more. And then you just get into the snowball effect of just playing bad and just not even having the good class anymore, because the good class that you did have, you just changed it. And one way I see to actually do this properly, actually go about changing a class, would be you have to think about it in a way. So let's say this. I have a sniper class where I'm using hardwired. It's a perk 2. Now, I want to change my class. Now, I think the best way to go about doing that is play a couple games with hardwire, play a couple games with that class, and see how many times somebody throws up a counter UAV or an EMP. If out of 10 games, 8 of those games somebody threw up at least 3 or 4 counter UAVs, then I would keep it on there. But, if I really did an experiment and with 10 games not a single EMP or counter UAV went up, then let's face it, hardwire is pretty much useless and you might as well take it off. That would be a proper step to changing the class. Not doing what I used to do by just having a few bad games and then, thinking, oh, if I had the laser sight, I would have sprayed that guy easier. Or if I had quick draw, I would have aimed down my sight faster and the guy would have been dead. That's not the way to go about changing a class, and it'll just lead to more mistakes. The way to go about changing a class is actually testing it. Like the example I gave with the hardwire. And you could use that for anything, like dexterity. If you find yourself sprinting a lot in games, then that's something you would probably want to keep on, or something you might want to put on. So that's what I'm trying to say is, like, when you go to change a class, you know, it should really be a tough process, and you should really make it hard and test and experiment just to see, you know, if it really goes that way, and if you should really change or not, and if it is really broken. But anyway, guys, I've just been rambling on here a little bit, so I'm just going to end this, and I want to end it with the question of the day. I'm going to start doing these on my videos just to see what you guys have to say about them, and just some questions that, you know, I just want your input on. Anyway, the question of the day today is, what is your favorite Call of Duty map to date, including all the Call of Duties? I'm going to have to say my favorite map is going to be from Call of Duty 4, the golden age of Call of Duty. And my favorite maps are going to be Backlot and Crash. Simply because I used to play a lot of hardcore Search and Destroy back in the day, back in Call of Duty 4. And that was honestly the best map ever. I honestly love the way the map worked out. And let me know what your guys' favorite map is. And that's pretty much it for the video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and that's it. Running on Zero out.